Welcome to the Good Rookies podcast. My name is Fahim.
And my name is Nelly J, y'all, and we are Good Rookies.
That's right.
What's going on, everybody? As you know, it's a happy Good Tuesday. And guess what? It's episode 43.
43, that's right.
Y'all, as you know, we always bring you the hottest topics and discussions on sports and culture. And this week, it's no different. Fahim, please introduce who we got.
All right. It's ladies' night. We got founder and CEO of Strategic Allure, Cheveshia Lewis, in the house.
Woo! Chevy. What's up, girl? How you doing, Chevy?
I'm good. How are you?
We are fantastic. It's hot. It's hotter in Toronto, finally. We've had a real cold winter, so I'm very excited. How are you doing, man? First of all, we're happy to always have women and ladies on our show. So as Fahim said, it is ladies' night, y'all.
That's
Make
right.
sure you sit back and enjoy the show. Okay? So Chevy, you are an entrepreneur. You're a founder, and so we're going to talk more about that in our For the Culture segment. But at first, as a Black woman, and especially in today's society, we got to talk about someone first, okay? So Naomi Osaka, as we know, ranked, number 1 in tennis, 1 or 2. I know that kind of flips up sometimes. And she's the most played female athlete ever to exist with 55 million. Okay, in the last year. So this girl has been getting paid.
On fire.
Yeah. So she posted about how she wanted to take a break from the media interviews because they asked the same questions over and over again, and it's not good for her mental health. So she said, I don't really want to do it because of mental. To me, it's like a sick day, right? I'm a sick day from media, right? The French Open now responds by saying, if you miss press conferences, we're going to find you. They find her, and then she said, deuces, okay? Deuces. Afterwards, au revoir. in the Paris Open. So, French Open. So, after that, a lot of people were saying, why would they find her? Why would they threaten her to not, if she doesn't do it, she'll keep getting fined. So, I'm just curious to hear your point of view on Naomi Osaka and your thoughts on what she did.
Well, to be honest with you, I support her 1,000%. I feel like it's very important for you to vocalize those things, especially when it has to do with mental health. I feel like she never said that she wasn't feeling well or she just didn't want to do the interview. She had a legit reason. And I feel like that's something that should have been taken care of a lot differently than the way how they did it. I agree with her 1,000% though. I feel like she did the right thing and kudos to her.
Right. This is something that dates back actually. So until I researched it a little bit more and figured and found out, she actually did a very lengthy Instagram post kind of explaining not just what she's doing, but the reason why. And it's very long. I'm not going to go through all of it, but there's some key points in there where she says, quote, the truth is I've suffered long bouts of depression since the US Open in 2018. And I've really had a hard time coping with that, unquote. So this is not something that just, just popped up. Like this is something that's been going on for a while. And, what often gets mentioned out there is, the question she's getting, but it goes, a lot deeper than her just not wanting to answer questions. And that's what I was finding even when I was getting the information also. I thought it was just, like the questions she was getting were adding to her stress. But as we know with athletes, how it goes, it's a very stressful situation, especially being an individual sport. And, we got to support her, especially in regards to mental health. What I do find is a lot of people are saying, oh, well, she's getting paid X amount of dollars. And that, what's there to be upset about or what's there to be depressed about? And
that's broke people. That's broke people. No, real talk. No, when you're broke, no, real talk. That's a broke mentality. People think money solves everything. It doesn't, guys. We see people who are millionaires committing suicide. So stop that foolishness. Sorry, Fahim, go ahead.
Oh, no, no, no. Yeah, I'm on the same page with you.
I'm just saying.
Cheveshia, what do you think about that?
To be honest with you, I feel like we're all humans. And I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that celebrities, athletes, influencers, all that, we're all humans at the end of the day, and we're allowed to have our own time. I respect the fact that she came out and she put it out there, especially for the people who do suffer with depression. Depression, mental health, and that type of stuff. I feel like it was, I don't know if it happened before in the sports world, but it's definitely going to happen again, right? So I feel like it's important for us to take a good look at that. And I really feel like, once again, they did not handle it the right way.
Agreed.
Right.
And also, just to add, I really think that all sports, like any sport events, they need to take in consideration, yes, they signed a contract to do media. However, if there is a pre-existing mental issue or mental ailment, they need to have a regulation around that. If someone suffers from severe anxiety or depression, and they that's like telling someone who has a broken leg to keep running. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Or like having AD, who in the Lakers first round, hey, keep playing AD in that pain. You can't, people understand mental ailment is like that. It's like a severe pain in your head that we can't see it, but you feel it. I think people need to understand that a mental ailment is not just like, oh, I'm into it today. It's an actual condition. So that's why I'm saying if we don't make athletes play a sport because they're injured, then we should make athletes answer or do media questions when they're having a mental episode or a mental ailment. You know what I'm saying? So they got to understand it's that severe. So anyway.
Yeah. So with the French Open, so we have to be fair and see it from both sides, right? We understand that this is a business for them also.
Yes.
And she is a high profile face of the franchise type personality. So they have their commitments that they have to do with their sponsors, because tennis is heavily involved with sponsorship for sure. So we have to understand that, right? But what I find with the French Open, I'll say tennis period. There's certain sports that race, has really been ingrained in it. I feel golf is one.
Speak on it.
Tennis happens to be another one that, knowing their history and their past, knowing that they're having somebody that's not just she's of a minority, right, in this sport. And in today's climate, I just figured there would be that added sense of sensibility to even how they're going to handle the situation.
Yes.
And just by them being so, I understand,
cold.
Even if they're going to fight. Yeah, kind of cold. If they're going to find, or just there's a way of showing some kind of respect for the situation, and I felt that's where the ball was dropped on their part.
Agreed. I think they could have responded in a more empathetic way.
That's the word I'm looking for.
And they weren't empathetic at all. It was like, if you don't do this, we're fighting you until you do it, and then after a certain amount of time, you're suspended. It was like. She's not attacking the tournament or her or fellow tennis players. She's saying that she has a condition called depression, and it's been it's like they didn't read it. All they saw was that she wasn't going to do it, and they were upset. And guess what? Now she's gone, and guess what? I'm sure the ratings aren't that high because Naomi brings people of color to the games, and without her here, trust me, after I saw Serena was done, I'm like, all right, tennis, French Open, bye. I'm not supporting you guys for what? For what? And we've seen Serena have bad backlash in the tennis world. Now Naomi, this is, like you said, Fahim, it's not just a race thing. It's something when it comes to Black women. Whenever we speak up or speak out, they take it as we're attacking them, and we're not. We're just trying to improve the game, improve the environment, and they always take it in the wrong way. I am sure if Naomi was a blonde girl with blue eyes, I'm sure they wouldn't have taken it the way they did. That's all I gotta say.
I agree.
They wouldn't have.
I'm rolling.
Oh man. Well, you know what, Naomi, we support you. We got your back. Period. There's no ifs and buts, and we hope you get well. That's all I gotta say.
True indeed. So on to the WNBA, and actually they have really surprised in regards to their Canadian viewership. It's reached a record for the opening weekend of their season that started 2021, which I was surprised.
Mhm.
We have to discuss this. Opening weekend of this season, 2021, they had a 325% increase in viewership.
Wow, I love it. I love it.
I
That's
got a
crazy.
question. I have a question to ask though. There's a big viewership increase with the WNBA. I'll speak for myself. I haven't watched the full game. Is there anyone here who has watched the full game?
A few.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
Lisa?
watch the football. Yeah, I watched a few.
There you go. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
also the reason why, Fahim, is that
Mhm.
this year, for the first time in Canada, they're actually showing games consistently.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Before, they never showed games. I remember I had to like find an NBA pass or stream online to watch it, because before, TSN did not show the games.
Right.
And this year, because they signed a Kia Nurse contract, all of a sudden I'm seeing games on the TV.
Right.
So I just think that, especially what's happened last year, I think a lot of media outlets are trying to be better for women's athletes. So I'm happy that now they're getting some shine. I really
I want
am.
to piggyback off of what you just mentioned, because I've also noticed myself, even highlights. Before, I
Yes.
never see WNBA highlights. And I'm noticing, I'm like, oh, there's a highlight. Oh, there's a highlight. They're actually showing genuine interest, because it's more than just like games here and there. They're actually showing the highlights. It is helping that, shout out to Kia Nurse. She hit a buzzer beater that not just
Yes.
Canadian
I
media,
seen
but
that.
period.
Yep.
Things like that is great for the league also, right? But yeah, this viewership increase. So let's pivot here for a second here. So there's an increase with women. Actually, no, it's not just women. This is just period. So men, women, everybody's is an increase, right? I'm going to ask, what now? Do you think this has to do with anything that happened during the bubble of things being closed down due to the pandemic? Like, what do you think could be adding to this increase?
Well, for the men's side, it hasn't really increased.
Right.
It's better than the bubble, but it's not better than 2019. Those numbers
Right.
are still higher. So
Mhm.
for the men's side, it's not the same. I think for the men, what was detrimental for them is that they had too many games within a week. Typically, you'd have games a bit more spread out, but who's watching basketball? Like, to watch a ball game every single night, like 3 or 4 games, it was too condensed. So I think the ratings dropped because of that. But if they had a spread out regular season, people can actually catch games better. That's my theory. For the women's side, I just think that, first of all, we saw that the WNBA got more marketing budget, I think by 200K. So the marketing budget increased this year. That's why they had more placement ads on social media, and they had more ads on TV. I actually saw, like, I've never seen a WNBA commercial ad in Canada before. I was like, and I was seeing like a few of them, like here and there. Typically, that doesn't happen like, it doesn't happen here. And I even saw it on like a regular TV station. I think CBC had one. Like, so they're paying for placements, and again, that's how you get more traffic to your product. So I just think that having the increase of marketing budget, having good big names, promoting these ladies, and I also think, like, Sabrina Ionescu, that girl's a star. She's been balling. So there's names that people understand and know, right? And I think every year, as they get more of these young talent coming in, especially during the Olympics, I think it's going to be amazing for the game. So I think my theory is more on timing, right? And I think also the marketing is the increase for WNBA. How about you, Chevy?
To be honest with you, I would have to say it has to do a lot with the marketing. I feel like they definitely set their game up with the marketing, especially because with women, we never see it, like you mentioned, right? Especially in Canada, and maybe in the States, but in Canada, we don't see it. So I think it's a big and a good look. So yeah.
Awesome.
And for the marketing, because I can agree with everyone also, placement is great. Marketing, they've actually come out with, see how with the men, they have like city jerseys, a different alternate. So they're also, with the WNBA, they have their alternate. So they have their alternate jerseys also that they're going to start marketing also. It's going to be interesting to see how they plan to sustain this growth that they've had, because that's a big jump, right? So usually when there's a spike like that, you eventually start to plateau, right? and it's about keeping those core that keep growing with you. But in regards to marketing, I think for the most part, placement. I even seen a show on NBA TV. I'm not sure if it's NBA TV Canada or just NBA TV USA, but there's actually a program now, a WNBA, I'm not sure the name of it, but it's a WNBA show, a show dedicated to, much like how we have for the NBA, an NBA show, there's a WNBA show that has current players, and they're actually putting some production behind it to actually sell the game.
That never happened, bro. Oh. I'm telling you. And to me, like, I think this jump is just where they should have been from the get-go if they had the marketing and the funding from investors. And I think it will only go up from here. Because check it out, right? Someone said the best investment right now to make if you want to be an owner of a team is to buy a WNBA team. Because in terms of analytics, that's the one league that they'll have that they'll see the most increase in terms of revenue ROI is purchasing a WNBA team. So I really believe that. And on top of that, even in America, they said, I think the overall ratings match what they used to get in 2012. That means the ratings dipped and now they're back up to where they were in 2012, right? So that just tells me that in 2012, they were higher, funding went down, probably and now they're back up again. And sometimes money for marketing, like Chevy said, if you don't put marketing into it, how can you get a return on it? It has to do it. So I'm just happy for you ladies, man. I'm hoping Canada, listen, I know Canada is very supportive and we have so many talented women basketball players in our country. So this number doesn't surprise me because we have the talent and we have the numbers.
Yeah.
Well, to our Canadian viewers, so the Tangerine Bank is are they the official sponsor of the Toronto Raptors? Like during Raptor games, Tangerine Bank is branded all around the Raptor telecast. Great news for the WNBA is just past week, Tangerine Bank has announced a partnership with the WNBA also. So those commercials that we're seeing with the with the NBA for Tangerine Bank are now going to have the WNBA also. And when you have a basketball core market that you're hitting, that can only help to have that kind of credibility behind you. So shout out to what's happening with this growth, and let's see where we're going.
Yep. And just to close out, Champagne Pappy, aka Drake, he actually posted a picture of him in like a WNBA, the hoodie, right? The orange hoodie.
The orange hoodie.
The orange hoodie. Yeah, so
nice.
He's wearing one. And so on the WNBA Instagram, they posted it. And then someone commented, they're like, that means that Toronto needs a team. And then I'm like, yes. And it had like about 80 likes. So people I'm like, yes, good job, Drake. Help us get a team, bro. Help us get a team.
Nice. So on the flip side with the WNBA though, so I'm not sure if our viewers have heard, let's get them caught up. The WNBA, there was a head coach that was suspended and he's fined for offensive comment made about a star player, Liz Cambage, her weight. Now, let's see, his name's Curt Miller, and he's a coach of the Connecticut Sun. Not just the head coach, but also the general manager also. And he was suspended after inappropriate and offensive comment toward her. And I guess what he had said was he complained about a call to the WNBA official and saying she weighs 300 pounds, quote unquote. Now, she happens to be 6'8" and weighs 235, right?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on this?
Well, he didn't say it just like that. He's like, come on, man. She's like 300 pounds because I guess he called a foul on his own player and against her. And he was like, how come the foul was on my team when she weighs 300 pounds? So he was being sarcastic. And it's first of all, I just think that sometimes people react in a negative way. Now, he wasn't trying to be nice to her. And even he came out and said that what he said was inappropriate. I think the suspension was accurate. And I think if you're going to be coaching women, you have to have women etiquette. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, these are, you know what I'm saying? And even for men, even as a dude, I think even for me, if I'm a female coach coaching a man, oh my gosh, she weighs 100 pounds, I think that's also insultive because some people are sensitive with their weight, right? So you can't say comments like that around weight. I don't care, men or women. I thought it was inappropriate. And she made a comment that it bothered her. And that's how the WNBA reacted. So I think he was just a lesson. Like, hey, coaches, if you want to make a complaint about something, don't refer to someone's weight. Make an actual statement. Maybe, oh, she's playing too aggressive or she pushed her. But don't comment saying, why should she get fouled because she weighs 300 pounds? Like, it's an immature, idiotic comment. That's my thoughts on it. How about you, Chevy?
I agree. I feel like it was ill-advised. It was inappropriate. And I think it was just silly overall. Like, he should have known better. So I'm happy that she actually checked him on it and she made a statement. I love that. You know, at the end of the day, like she said, I'm never going to make someone disrespect me, especially a man, right? So I just feel like he should have known better, especially as a coach, and I'm happy he got fined.
So I'm glad that, so there's two women I'm speaking with right now, right? Nelly J, you're giving me
watch
that look.
Yourself.
Like, watch yourself.
I'm ready for you to say something because that's ready for you, brother. I'm ready all week. Let me go. Sip my tea.
Okay, so when I first read it, my first instinct was, she's what is she now? Let me just double check. So she's 235, 6'8", 235, right? Now, when using 300 pounds, I'm thinking, okay, well, does he mean literally she's 300 pounds, or is 300 pounds used figuratively to say she's a huge woman, right? Now, hold on. I'm flipping it to being on, for instance, Shaq. Shaq's a big guy. If someone said, hey, you know, look for the foul, the guy's 7 foot, 350 pounds. I understand Shaq's not going to react the same way.
You don't know that. You don't know that, Fahim.
Okay.
You're making
right.
an assumption.
I don't know that. You're right. I
Assumption.
don't know that. But I kind of feel confident that maybe him being a male, he doesn't have that same sense of, see what we were saying about Osaka and the French Open, about like sensibilities and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there isn't that same sensibility. I think Shaq would not have that same complex with his size.
But some guys do. There's some men that are even worse than women when it comes to their weight. Like, remember, to me, know your audience. Just know your audience. Now, if you and Liz are buddy, and you guys joke about stuff like that, and you say it, she won't care because she know, like, you guys are good. But if that isn't your homie or your friend, just know your place. I don't think everyone would react the same way that she would. But again, you have to know your audience. Just know who you're talking to, know who you're dealing with.
I'm with you, but let me ask this: say he didn't use weight, and I'm not playing devil's advocate. I'm just a genuine question, right? And I think it's great speaking to two women. You can set me straight. Say he said, you know what? Call the foul. She's huge. She's twice the size of whoever, number 10.
Twice the size is actually better than saying 300 pounds because you're putting a finite number on someone's weight that's inaccurate, and 300-pound woman is not something. It's an insult. You know what I'm saying? Like to somebody that you don't know.
And I'm not. Yeah. So set me straight. Saying twice the size of that point guard is
because twice the size is saying that my person who fouled her
is bigger than the person.
Yes, it's bigger than her. But saying she's like 300 pounds, come on, like he didn't say like, guys, she's only three. Like he didn't say in a calm tone for him. It was the tone. Like again, it's how you say things as well, right? So remember in this context, right? If she says, oh my gosh, yo, she's double the size of my player, what's going on? That's just a fact. Maybe she's double, maybe that is a fact. But saying, yo, she's like 300 pounds, like that's like, I'm trying to insult her as well as get my point across. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Feel me? So at the end of the day, it's like he wanted to get his point across, but he also insulted her on purpose. And a Black woman, we're aware of this. Lots of these men love to get the point across and throw a dab at us. You know what I'm saying? A jab at us, throw a jab at us. And he did that. If he kept it factual and kept it real, no problem. But he had to throw a little jab. That's why it was a suspension. $10,000. Again, only 10 grand, not a big deal. But guess what? No other coach will do it again. And that's the point of the entire thing.
I guess that kind of sets a tone, because you're right. Like WNBA players, they're professional athletes, right? But I guess there is that nuance of things that are outside the game of being for instance, the NBA, that would not be acceptable in the WNBA. Go ahead.
Actually, well, keep in mind, we've seen players get fined before for saying things on the court or get like backlash. Like when when that guy called your boy Luka?
Punk ass white boy.
Yeah, punk ass white boy, right?
Okay.
And hold up. I remember Luka didn't mind it. He was like, I don't care. But other people thought it was an insult. So again, know your audience, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, know your audience, right? Like, if Luka's okay, yeah, Luka's like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't bother me. But if you find him, whatever. Like, but again, Luka wasn't mad. Liz was mad at the coach because she and him don't talk like that. They ain't friends like that. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to say is that in any sport, everyone has their own sensitivities. And so it's best to just be respectful regardless of who you're talking to. Just keep it 100. You ain't got to throw insults or throw race. Just keep it 100 and keep it respectable. That's it.
I agree.
That's it. And you're a coach. Like, why is coaches talking trash like that? For him, the God.
I'm good.
You're good? This is ladies the A. All right.
All right. So Nelly J, let's go to For the Culture.
For the culture. We like to highlight individuals that are for the culture. And folks, we get to highlight our amazing guest, founder, CEO of Strategic Allure. First of all, girl, I love that name. That name is fire.
Thank you.
So how did you come up with that name, and when did you begin this company or found this company?
So Strategic Allure was established back in 2017.
Wow.
To be honest with you, the name came about, I heard the name strategic back in grade 10. My math teacher said it to me. And I never knew what it meant. And I went home and I studied it, and I was like, oh, you know what? I got the meaning now. And I'm like, eventually one day I just want to use it for something. I don't know what it's going to be for. So once I figured out that I wanted to do waist trainers, I said, okay, strategic, beauty, but too many people have beauty, right? So I tried to find another name that would kind of represent beauty, but has its own little twist to it. So Allure, which is in French, right?
I love Allure. That's right. It is French. Well, we are in Canada, so I guess we are dual. You know what I mean? I don't speak French, but you know. No, that's amazing. No, I really like it. I actually went to your page on Instagram, and folks, if you're not following her, she's at Strategic Allure. But what I like to see is a Black owner. You know, in Canada, 5% of this country is Black, right? So I like seeing people becoming ownership, and I'm always curious to ask, why did you want to become an entrepreneur? Because not everyone pursues that. So I'm just curious to know, why did you want to pursue that type of I guess future for yourself?
So for me, I would have to say is because growing up, I was surrounded by a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of boss type of people. My mother, she was actually an entrepreneur as well. She had 3 restaurants in Toronto, well-known restaurants. They were restaurants, bars, and grills. And she did a really, really good thing for herself, and she was able to go into early retirement, right? So she kind of motivated me to say, okay, you know what? Have your own as a young Black woman, right?
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my mom definitely inspired me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's cool though. So tell the people then what you sell. Walk us through your products and what you offer. Because that's, guys, if you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, listen to the girl now. Look, Chevy will hook you up. Go ahead, girl.
No worries. So I sell waist trainers. We specialize in custom waist trainers from extra small right up to 7XL and custom sizing. The waist trainers basically just help to form fit you. It helps to deal with your midriff area. I know as a woman, we are very self-conscious, going back to the whole body shaming thing. So a lot of women, they feel a little bit self-conscious, especially after having a child. For myself, my son, he's now 12 years old. Prior to having him, my body was flawless. It was there, right?
Tight up.
It was very tight. And then, you know, after having my son, even though my body did bounce back, my stomach or my mid area, it was very challenging to get back to that point. So I felt like, you know, I needed to do something where I still felt comfortable in my skin, to go out and not feel, self-conscious, right? So I started to wear waist trainers and started to get body shapers, and I got a lot of nice comments and compliments when I would go out. And then I said to myself, you know what, it makes me feel good to see that people are noticing that. So I want to make other women the same way.
Okay, so I have a question. Okay. You said body shapers.
Yes.
So I think I can kind of piece together what I think a body shaper is.
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to waist trainer, can you break it down? Because I know we have like a lot of male viewers, to the basics of what a waist trainer is, please.
Yes. So a waist trainer is an undergarment that helps to spot train your stomach back in your waist. It reshapes you, it tightens and tones you, and it helps you to sweat in your mid area, which will allow you to get down in inches. It also compresses your stomach, so it helps you not to eat as much, but just kind of has that little restriction to it. And it looks really good on.
And I have one question. Is that something that a woman would wear at home, or would she wear that out on the road also? Like under her clothes?
She can wear it under her clothes. With Strategic Allure, we carry different designs, right? Okay. So there's some that are just custom for wearing at home, running errands, around the house. And then there's others that you can actually wear under your clothes, which are our bodied shapers. So depending on the style that you're looking for, but Strategic Allure helps you to find the perfect fit for yourself. So it's a good look.
That's awesome, because sometimes you buy a waist trainer and like they mash up, like they they don't last long. I got one from Winners like a couple years ago, and it lasted like maybe a month. Cause I go to the gym with it, working out, and I'm like, this thing is that the material breaks. So how durable is your product? And like you mentioned, you have styles for girls who go to the gym and for girls who want to just walk around, right?
Yes. So with Strategic Allure, our quality is extremely, extremely good. We're actually one of the top quality brands in the GTA for waist trainers. Wow. We don't use the same quality material as others. We actually have something that we're working on right now to get patented, but it's a different...
Inventors up in here, bye. Okay.
So you'll definitely know when you're in a Strategic Allure waist trainer.
Well, girls, sign me up, y'all. I'm gonna get one. Shoot. Okay. And all my girls who are listening and the fellas, I told you, hook your girl up, hook your wife up. All right. Let's support our girl.
In regards to strategic partnership, you know what? Like as you're speaking, I'm thinking we spoke a lot about the WNBA, right? And their partnerships. Do you market? Because I think there would be a good market for those who, not only those who maybe need to tone up, but those who want to maintain it. Are you hitting up maybe even some professional athletes, female athletes, or anything along those lines? If not, that might be a good option, right?
That's for sure. There's a lot of things bubbling for Strategic Allure right now. So it is something that is in the works, and it's also a great idea.
Nice.
But yes, we're definitely in the works with it.
Nice. That's awesome. And I guess, people always say, oh, they're older, but I'm sure it took you a while to get here. So what was a huge challenge or obstacle you had to overcome to make it in that industry?
For waist trainers, because so many people are selling waist trainers or waist shapers, it's definitely to do with the quality. I had to find a quality that was actually going to work. So I went through a lot of trial and error to, cheaper materials, more expensive materials, more form-fitting materials. Like I just had to figure out what would work, and everything that I tried or went through, I tried to basically eliminate everything I didn't like from the other shapers and waist trainers and incorporate stuff that we know that we need as women.
Wow. And what you said was that you tried, you tried everything. Some people be selling stuff and not trying it. It's like, oh, I'm selling this now, or detox tea. You were always a size 1. So how are you selling a tea? Does not make any sense. But I'm happy that you were I was a mother, I had a child, and I wanted to improve a certain area of my body, and you tried different things, and now you're selling it because you've been through that. So I love. I think the best entrepreneurs are ones that can relate to their audience or relate to the target market. You know what I mean? And clearly you're that. So I am so happy for you, girl. Let us know if we can support you in any way. Hit us up. You know, we got you. Like, real
We got you.
We got you, y'all.
Thank you.
We got you.
And I guess what we'll do is we'll plug all your information at the end of the podcast also.
Yes, for
Ladies,
sure.
Ladies, be sure to support. Fellas, be sure to pass on to your lady. I know I am.
Yes.
And,
honestly, man, and guess what? Christmas gifts, birthday gifts, you know what I'm saying? All that stuff. Actually, I know my friend, she got one for her birthday last year. Not from you, but she got from somewhere. So people like this stuff for birthdays. So, hey.
Right. There's a market.
There's a market, man. It's a market.
Good for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Chevy, for sharing that information.
Mm-hmm.
Your journey's been amazing. I love seeing how, like, your mom was a boss. Now you're a boss. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now your son's going to be a boss. I love it, man.
Yes.
I love it. He's going to be no, it's real talk. I love it. Well, y'all, that's for the culture. Big up to Cheveshia. Okay.
Right.
And support our girl. No problem.
Right.
So we got one more segment to go for him.
Let's go to our last segment, which is That's Absurd.
That's absurd for him, bro. What was absurd this week? What was absurd?
Kristaps Porziņģis, please step up to bat.
Oh, Lord. Mr. Absurd of the Week.
Oh, my goodness. Kristaps Porziņģis, after being bounced out of the first round of playoffs by the LA Clippers, he's went on to say that he's feeling not valued and feeling like an unvalued co-star playing beside Luka Dončić.
No, he said, I'm not a co-star. I'm more like the quote's something different for him. He said an actual quote. Yeah.
Hold on. Just 1 second here.
Yeah. Say his quote because I want the folks to hear the actual quote because that's how absurd it is. Okay. We need to quote him as per he said. You know what I'm saying?
Before we roast him, we want to make sure we don't.
We don't want to roast him with with like raw chicken. No, it has to be a real meat.
All right, so here we go. So Kristaps Porziņģis, he said co-star.
Hold up. He feels like an afterthought. That's the term. I'm like, well, he didn't say yeah. So pretty much, let's look at the words up in here. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So go ahead, Fahim.
And it says here, Kristaps Porziņģis. Yeah, it's stating the afterthought, but sorry, Nelly J.
Okay, it's okay. So what he said was that he feels like an afterthought and not a co-star of Luka, the King, future Dončić. That's what he said.
And that's absurd.
First of all, Porziņģis, who told you this lie that you were on the same planet as Luka? I just want to know why you think, sir, that you're anywhere near to Luka's status. Fahim, Chevy, what's this guy on? And wasn't the same dude that was caught in a club a few weeks ago partying?
Yeah, he got fined by the league, right?
And not prepping for a playoff. So I need to understand why Porziņģis feels like he's an afterthought. Because Porziņģis, you are an afterthought.
All right, sure. BCSO, but I'm going to give some context. Here's a quote. Ready? Porziņģis has been frustrated, often feeling more like an afterthought than a co-star as Dončić dominates the ball and the spotlight, end quote. And that's the absurdity.
Absurd.
Go ahead.
Well, to be honest with you, I think he's a good player and he has good skill set. I kind of feel like they just have him in the wrong position, right? So it's not really showcasing his talents in a sense. No.
So I will say that he has talent and he should be a co-star, but he's not.
Yes.
Right. So I think he should be, like you said, he has skills. He's a good player, but he's not performing in the play. And it's the first time he doesn't perform well in the playoffs. He was silent night against the Clippers in Game 7. And the question is, if you want to be treated better or not be frustrated, you can't blame Luka for your wrongdoings. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he just wanted, like, see me my thing, right? If you guys lose, I would respect him if he said, hey, y'all, I didn't play well. I am dealing with a few things internally because it's my problem. I'm going to figure it out and come back stronger. Because guess what? His comment to me, Kristaps, that's a you problem. That is a you problem.
Yeah.
That isn't Dallas's problem. That isn't the fans. That is a you problem, sir. So don't be trying to throw Luka on the bus. He is the future of that franchise. So if you want a job in the NBA, you better know your place and stay in your lane, right? But like you said, Chevy, I do think he should be good, but he hasn't been good. And that's why he's upset. So don't be mad at Luka. Be mad at yourself. Be mad at yourself.
I agree. Cheveshia, what you mentioned, I can get down with. Only problem is with Kristaps Porziņģis is in the playoffs, he averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 3-point shot per game in the playoffs. That is not co-star type numbers. That is maybe a third option type number. And Porziņģis, he has the potential to be a franchise player, but if you're not playing, and this is where I think the absurdity is. Not so much that he feels frustrated because he's entitled to feel how he wants or how he feels, right? He's entitled. But if what you're saying is not consistent with what you're producing, that's where the problem lies. Keep in mind, he's getting paid more than Giannis, more than Bradley Beal, more than
paid Holiday, more than Giannis, Chevy.
Julius Randle. He's getting paid more than a ton of guys who are expected to do some more heavy lifting than he's producing. So that's the absurdity. I want to ask this real quick on the way out, okay? So, Porziņģis wants to be treated like a co-star, okay? Do you think, because Luka's the number one, Luka's probably going to sign that $200 million plus extension, okay? Contract. So that means he's going to be in Dallas for a long time. Porziņģis, let's assume he stays in a long time. Do you think that it's possible for Dallas to get another player to be Luka's co-star, or do you think they're stuck with Porziņģis being the co-star going forward? What do you guys think?
They need a better player.
You think they need?
Hold on. I love Chevy. Chevy's like, it's not his fault, y'all. And she goes, actually, they need someone better. Right. Yo, Kristaps, she had your back, and then she did a U-turn and came back around, bro. She was like, you know what, Kristaps, I'm gonna roll back. Yeah, girl. No, but Chevy, you're right. They need someone better. And honestly, if I'm Luka, I don't want you on the team. I don't because Fahim, imagine Luka was injured, neck spasms. You saw his pain, okay? He saw his pain throughout the playoffs. Then you're gonna sit there, Kristaps, after the series is over and say, "I'm frustrated. I'm not getting the love I deserve." Luka's hogging all this love for me. What? Guys, it's insane. It's insanity in the term of his comment. I just think sometimes these players need to get media training. Kristaps, when you just learn how to speak or express yourself without having to throw your teammate, the star of your team, under the bus.
Now I'm gonna give him a bly in that this is his first year, his first playoffs, right?
Is it his first playoffs ever he's been in, you're saying?
I'm pretty sure because he was with the Knicks before and they did not make the playoffs under his watch. It was under Carmelo and Anthony, right? So, with a lot of players.
But hold on, Fahim.
A lot of players, we give them that.
He gets a bly but he's been in the league for how long? That's a maturity thing. It's not really.
Well, he's a 5-year player. He's 5 years in. So, here's the thing. It's his first year, 13-8. Not horrible, right? But if he's going to be Luka's sidekick, in which I think he should be a good sidekick, he's just got to produce better. And don't ever throw the franchise, the league gem, don't ever throw him under the bus again and mention him and talk about him like that ever in your life.
Said, never, ever throw him again. Yo, Fahim got kind of mad there still. But no, Fahim. So this is second year in the playoff because Dallas made it last year too, right? So What's the numbers last year?
No, but was he playing last year in the play? Remember, he was injured, right?
I'm asking. I'm gonna see if I can find, like, can you find the Dallas playoffs last year? Like the stats?
Actually, let me just pull this up.
Yeah, because I swear he played last year.
Okay, so how about while we're looking this up, how about we agree on this? If this is his first playoffs, we're giving him a bye. If this was a second playoffs,
I'm giving no bye. I'm giving him no bye. None. He gets no bye. And he played last year. I'm saying.
So, okay, you're right. So I got the numbers ready. He played last year. So I guess we say no bye. But but watch this. Here's the numbers he put up last year. He put up 23 and 8 last year.
I know. That's why. Listen, Fahim. That is why I was upset.
Took a step back. We'll call it a blip. I'm not giving up on Kristaps.
So hold up. No, Chevy. Let's go with what we know. Okay, the facts here. Okay. Fahim, please tell Chevy the numbers again of what he did last year.
23
points.
23 points and 9 rebounds.
Okay, this year he did what?
13 points and 5 rebounds.
And he's complaining that he's not a co-star. Court has been settled, folks. Absurd. Fahim, you had an argument until you pulled up last year's number. Because again, he's blaming Luka for his demise. But I blame the strippers, Kristaps. I blame the clubs. I blame I blame the bottle service because real talk. This guy was at the club before at partying, COVID protocols. He was fined, right? He almost missed the playoffs, guys. He almost missed it because of his. Right. So again, for him, I'm not blaming Kristaps. Don't be blaming Luka for your demise.
Okay. On the way out, I'm going to ask you guys this real quick. Ready? Next year going forward, are we getting 2020 Kristaps? Or are we getting 2021 Kristaps? Which one do you think going forward are we getting?
Go, Chevy. You can go first, girl.
Honestly, I don't know.
You don't know?
Honestly, Chevy, there's no wrong answer, by the way. There's no, and it's a fair answer. For me, I'm going, hold on, Chevy. Before you answer, keep in mind, he was in a bubble last year in the playoffs. Now he's in the public. So some players performed better in the bubble, and some fell off the wagon this year. So next year, they will not be in a bubble. So do you think he'll play better in a regular playoffs?
I think he'll do a little bit better.
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm rooting for him.
Right.
Chevy is a sweetheart, you know. Girl, my girl's so sweet up. You know me, y'all. You know how I keep it real. Yeah. I don't think he'll do 13 again, but will he be in a Dallas uniform? That's the question for me. For you.
Oh.
No, because listen, guys, the owner of Dallas, he loved him some Luka, okay?
Right.
And that comment, maybe, and again, I just think a comment is probably, I just don't like when
players, it doesn't sit well with you, does it? No.
I just, you know what? Yeah. If my teammate carried their entire team to set, like, on his back with neck spasms, he's playing in pain. I just feel like you're a jerk. You're just a jerk.
And it's also poor judgment on his part. Also, Luka Dončić is the future. If you can't get it done with Luka, what makes you think you're going to go elsewhere and get it done with anyone else?
Thank you. That's the question I have.
That is a question. But you know what? I'm keeping faith the fact that this year was a blip. He's going to come back healthy, and he's going to give Luka what he needs, which is
come back healthy. He's been healthy. Tell him to leave the dollars at home. The dollars at home. Tell him to stop clubbing during the playoffs. That's it. Yeah. Listen, I bet you he was clubbing every night during the playoffs. This guy's wild, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like he wasn't focused, and you can't blame Luka for because you're not focused. Right. Take the accountability. Be like, y'all, I performed bad. It's on me. I will get better, and keep it straight. Don't be like, I'm just frustrated. Why? Because I'm not true. Like, I can't. No, I just can't, y'all. Okay.
All right.
Absurd.
All right. So let's pull this episode of the books, Nelly J.
Episode 43. So, y'all, we had Chevy in the building. So, Chevy, before you head out, please, we love to give our guests a chance to do a shout out. So the floor is yours.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to shout out the whole Strategic Allure Street team. They're definitely a big part of the reason why we're doing so well.
Street
Shout out to, the streets, they're great. And then I want to shout out my little CEO, my son, Prince J. Barry Francis. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I really, 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 really do appreciate it. And I hope to come again.
Of course, girl. Listen, we need some sweetness on the show, so you'll be back for sure. Back for sure.
Nice.
Y'all, so my shout out's pretty simple. I'm shouting out Miss Cheveshia Lewis. Okay, y'all, get support. I love seeing Black business owners in Canada. It's just something that I adore. Like, again, Chevy, anything we can do to help you, let us know. Please support our girl at Strategic Allure on Instagram, and I'm gonna have her handle in the caption for him.
That's right. No, I'm following pace with this right now. I want to shout out Cheveshia. Just what you mentioned. This is like, this is, first of all, I see nothing but success in your future. Okay. It's just huge that on your shout out there, you said your CEO, which was your son.
Yeah.
And when I hear things like that, it makes, like, in regards to, we talk about our generation and generational wealth and things like that. And I think of like DJ Khaled and naming his son an executive producer of an album. And I think of Nas and him naming his daughter as an executive producer. Like, just the fact that we're not waiting for our kids to get older to hand them something. We're putting the work now and giving it to them while they're young. So I want to salute that. That's actually amazing. You know, we need to have more people thinking like you, who are creating businesses and creating that generational wealth. So that's amazing. I want to shout out the business also.
Strategic Allure.
I want to shout that also.
Allure. Sorry.
Anyone listening? Ladies, support. Men, get your women to support.
Yes.
And also, men support also. If there's a man that feels he needs it out there,
Yes.
we're not going to discriminate also, right?
Yes, man. If you want to get that waist tight, yo, call our girl Chevy. Real
That's
talk.
right.
Real
All
talk.
right. Let's put this episode in the books, episode 43.
43. So y'all, if you had a good time, please click on that subscribe. Follow Instagram, IG page. Follow on Twitter. And please, y'all, tell a friend to tell a friend for him.
You know where to find us. Tell a friend to tell a friend and tell another friend and keep telling friends. Let's grow this organically. That's episode 43, Good Rookies Podcast, and we out. Peace.